Good morning, students. So today we are starting our next chapter of Biotech unit, that is biotechnology and its applications. So in this chapter, we will study about the different uses or the applications of biotechnology in the field of either agriculture, in the field of food production, in the field of bioremediation, or in the field of industries, that is pharmaceuticals. So basically, this biotechnology, it have been used either in the field of agriculture or in the field of pharmaceuticals for the production of some products or some organism which are superior to other products or other organism, and they are beneficial for human beings. So this biotechnology, it have been used, the biotech have been used for the production of, for large scale production of pharmaceutical products. Pharmaceutical products. Further, it have been also used for the production of genetically modified, that is GMOs, genetically modified animals, plants and microbes. Further, this biotech, it have been also used for the production of genetically modified crops for agriculture. So this biotech, it is used for the large scale production of pharmaceutical products. It have been also used for the production of genetically modified animals, plants and microbes, and it have been also used for the production of genetically modified crops for our agriculture. Further, this biotech, it have been also used for food production or food processing. It is used for bioremediation. It is used for energy production. And it is also used for waste treatment. So all these fields, the biotech have been used. That is, in pharmaceuticals, it is used for the production of large scale of medicines or large amount of medicines. It have been used for the production of plants, animals or microbes with altered genes, that is genetically modified organism. It have been used for the production of genetically modified crops for our agriculture. It have been used for the processing of food. It is used for bioremediation process. It is used for energy production, and it is also used for the waste treatment processes. Now, we will study all these in details. So, the first utilization of biotech in case of agriculture, first we will study about the application of biotechnology in the field of agriculture. So, in the field of agriculture, this biotech, it have been used for the production of organism or for production of plants with altered genes. So, in agriculture, this biotech, it have been used for the production of plants with altered genes, and these plants or organisms with altered genes, they are known as genetically modified organism, that is GMOs, genetically modified organism. Now, These genetic modifications, they provides several advantages. They provide several advantages to plants. So now we will study the advantages which are provided by these genetic modifications to plants. So the first advantage in case of plants, when we alter the genes of plants, then we can create the plants which are tolerant to stressful abiotic conditions such as the drought, the salinity, heat and cold. So तो बेटा जो फर्स्ट एडवांटेज है वो क्या है कि बायोटेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करते हुए अगर हम जीन्स को ऑल्टर करते हैं प्लांट्स के, हम जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाइड प्लांट्स क्रिएट करते हैं, तो उनके पास काफी सारी एडवांटेजेस होती है ऐसे प्लांट्स की। उसमें जो फर्स्ट एडवांटेज क्या है कि वी कैन क्रिएट प्लांट्स टॉलरेंट टू, दैट इज टॉलरेंस टू स्ट्रेसफुल abiotic conditions such as heat, cold, drought and salinity। तो हमने जेनेटिक मॉडिफिकेशंस क्रिएट करके प्लांट्स के अंदर कुछ ऐसे प्लांट्स क्रिएट किए जो टॉलरेंट थे स्ट्रेसफुल एबायोटिक कंडीशंस के लिए, जैसे कि हीट हो गया, कोल्ड, ड्रॉट एंड सैलिनिटी। द सेकंड एडवांटेज इज इंक्रीज्ड, और यू कैन से दैट इज इंक्रीज्ड अपटेक ऑफ मिनरल न्यूट्रिएंट्स बाय प्लांट्स फ्रॉम सोयल। तो हमने कुछ ऐसे प्लांट्स क्रिएट किए बायोटेक्नोलॉजी के थ्रू जो ज्यादा न्यूट्रिएंट्स एब्सॉर्ब करते थे सोइल से इन कंपैरिजन टू द अदर प्लांट्स। द थर्ड इज इंक्रीज्ड न्यूट्रिशनल value of food in plants. So through biotech, through genetic modifications, we have created such plants which have more nutritional value. More nutritional value means they have more energy in the form of calories, they have more nutrients, they have more minerals, they have more vitamins and all that carbohydrates. Now the fourth advantage is reduced use of chemical pesticides. So what we have done in these genetic modifications in case of plants, we have introduced such genes in plants which are insecticidal genes which produces some insecticidal proteins, and when plants eats these, or when insects eats these plants, they gets died. So we have produced the plants which are resistant to insect attack through biotechnology, which have resulted in the less use of chemical pesticides in case of our crop fields. The next is reduced post harvest losses. So we have created such plants in which we have reduced the post harvest losses from the crops. So all these are the advantages to plants which are created through biotechnology, and these plants are known as genetically modified plants or GMOs, that is genetically modified organism. Now come to the applications of biotechnology in the field of agriculture. The first application of biotechnology in the field of agriculture is improvement in the process of photosynthesis. So by using biotech, by using genetic engineering, we have increased the rate of photosynthesis in plants. So what happens in case of plants? The plants contains an enzyme that is known as rubisco. This rubisco is ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate carboxylase and oxygenase. So it is a bifunctional enzyme. Rubisco is a bifunctional enzyme because it carries out both processes, that is carboxylation, and it also carries out the oxidation. Now this Rubisco, when it undergoes some changes, some variations occurs in this, some mutation occurs in this Rubisco enzyme, then what happens, this Rubisco, it carries out only oxidation of RUBP, that is ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate. So when this carries out only oxidation of RUBP, then at that time near about 25% stored CO2 present in plants. This CO2 undergoes the process of photorespiration. That means this CO2 gets lost from the plants in the form of photorespiration or through photorespiration. So what happens when this Rubisco, it carries out only oxidation in case of plants, 25% stored CO2 gets photorespired, it got lost from the plant, and this CO2, it is a must requirement for photosynthesis. When we increase the amount of CO2 in plants, the rate of photosynthesis also increases. But in this case, because from plants near about 25% CO2 got lost, so the rate of photosynthesis have decreased. Now what we do, by using biotechnology, by using genetic engineering, we isolate the gene which is responsible for this problem from the Rubisco. We treat that gene accordingly and then again reinsert into this Rubisco enzyme. Now this Rubisco carries out both processes, that is carboxylation and oxidation of RUBP. So in this way we have prevented the loss of near about 25% CO2 from plants, and if this more 25% of CO2 is available to plants, the rate of photosynthesis increases. So we have improved the process of photosynthesis. Now we will study the second application of biotech in the field of agriculture, that is herbicide resistant plants. So with the help of this biotechnology, we have produced such plants which remains unaffected by spraying the herbicides on these crop fields or crop plants in order to kill weeds. So these herbicides are the chemicals which are used to kill the weeds in our crop fields. And through biotechnology, we have produced such plants which remains unaffected from the herbicide sprayed on them for killing of weeds. Today, the herbicide plants which are produced, they include the potato plant, the tomato plant, the corn plant, the oil seeds, and all these etc. So these plants, they are produced in such a manner that their total yield or total production remains unaffected, and at the same time the herbicide do not cause any harm to these plants. So these plants are produced in such a way that they continue to produce their total yield, and at that same time they remains unaffected from the chemical herbicides which are sprayed on them. For the production of such plants, we have used the three methods. That is, the first one is because these herbicides, they usually what happens, they damages or denatures the enzymes which are present in plants. So what we have done, we have overproduced the enzymes which may get inactivated in the plants due to spraying of herbicides. So the first method of producing such plants is overproduction of such enzymes in plants which gets deactivated or denatured by spraying herbicides. ठीक, तो हमने क्या किया उन बायोटेक्नोलॉजी के थ्रू उन प्लांट्स के अंदर उन एंजाइम्स का ओवर प्रोडक्शन करवा दिया जो हर्बिसाइड के छिड़काव से डीएक्टिवेट हो सकते थे या डीनेचर हो सकते थे। ठीक है, नाउ द सेकंड मेथड ऑफ प्रोड्यूसिंग हर्बिसाइड टॉलरेंट प्लांट्स इज बाय induction of mutations, by induction of mutation or mutations in plants, and these mutations they produces enzymes which are less sensitive to herbicides, So in second method beta what we have done, हमने प्लांट्स के अंदर कोई म्यूटेशन कॉज की, इन म्यूटेशंस की वजह से वो एंजाइम्स प्रोड्यूस हुए प्लांट में जो किसी हर्बिसाइड के लिए लेस सेंसिटिव थे, यानी कि उस हर्बिसाइड का उस एंजाइम के ऊपर कोई इफेक्ट नहीं था। एंड इन थर्ड मेथड वी इंट्रोड्यूस्ड सच एंजाइम्स इन प्लांट्स which detoxifies the effect of herbicides or which detoxifies the herbicides। तो हमने थर्ड मेथड में क्या किया, हमने वो एंजाइम्स डायरेक्टली प्लांट में इंट्रोड्यूस करवा दी जो किसी हर्बिसाइड के इफेक्ट को डिटॉक्सिफाई कर सकते थे, यानी कि ये एंजाइम्स दे आर नॉट सेंसिटिव टू द herbicides and even they are responsible for detoxifying the effect of herbicides. So these are the three methods by which we have produced the herbicide tolerant plants.